The top three contenders for the 2006 Tarmac title were all on the island, as was Kenny McKinstry, who was determined to spoil their perfect score. Well, for Kenny, it was a real mission. Like the late Bertie Fisher before him, Kenny had won the Manx National Rally many times before, 4 times to be precise, but never the International. It was a trophy that he dearly would have loved to have had on his Banbridge sideboard, and as the years go by, he's the first to acknowledge that time was running out. Would 2006 be his year? Well, watch as he gives it an almighty go against Eugene, Donnelly, Derek McGarrity and Eamon Boland, 3 drivers who were totally focused on their Tarmac Championship ambitions. All the ingredients were there for 3 spectacular days' action.
The Pirelli Series has traversed the lands of Ireland and Scotland so far, as the quest for the Irish Tarmac title continues. With 3 rounds left to contest, there are 3 main championship players in 3 different makes of World Rally car. Eugene Donnelly may have the car in front, Eamon Boland is fully focused, and Derek McGarrity keeps on changing his Subaru stars. They are all fighting for the most prestigious title in Irish motorsport. Can Eugene scoop his 3rd Tarmac title, or will Mr. Consistency Eamon Boland deny him? And Jim Clark winner Derek McGarrity is fighting back into the hunt. The newly named Rally Isle of Man was first run in 1963. The Manx International Trophy has so often eluded Irish drivers, and only Adrian Boyd, Cathal Kiely and the late Frank Maher have tasted the champagne, and not since 1995.
It's been a long time since we've had an Irish winner here in the Isle of Man, and with the British competitors taking part in Group N, there's a fair chance there could be an Irishman on the winner's podium on Saturday night. But who's it going to be?
Eugene Donnelly is now on his 3rd Manx adventure. 3rd time lucky? The Jim Clark winner Derek McGarrity has a new S11 Subaru to play with. But Banbridge's Kenny McKinstry has played with world and British champions such as Richard Burns and Malcolm Wilson on this island before. So what advice can they give to the very young 17-year-old Andreas Mikkelsen from Norway?
A word of advice from somebody who knows these roads to the youngsters.
God, that's a difficult one. I suppose really, you know, for anybody coming to the island for the first time, it's daunting if they're only getting 3 runs over the stages, you know, 3 or 4 runs over the stages. This young guy, Mikkelsen, I mean, if you look at what he has done in such a short time, it just looks like he's going to be a superstar, you know. Let's hope that he is.
I heard it's one of the most incredible tarmac races ever here in the UK, and it's a 3-day event which I need to get experience with, so that's the reason.
This island keeps throwing up the odd bit of shiny tar, and they're difficult stages. They're good stages, but they're difficult.
It's totally different here. It's so bumpy, so it will be very hard to finish, but that's what we're here for, and that's what I'm going to do.
Andreas has recently won 2 British National Forestry rallies, but now he's up against the Irish.
We hope there is going to be an Irishman on the podium. Who do you think it's going to be?
Me. I have to, you know, that's the only reason I'm here, is to try and win it. You know, it's doable. I need a wee bit of luck on my side, you know, and I still think there's a bit left in me yet, so we'll keep working at it.
Kenny and co-driver Noel Orr slide their Subaru off the TT grandstand ramp for the Thursday start. Eamon Boland at number 4 has had no win since Cork 2003. And championship leaders Eugene Donnelly and Paul Kiely are confident. So are Derek McGarrity and Dermot Falvey. Stage 1 is incredibly narrow in places with horrendous bumps like speed ramps. It's a place for caution, and Eugene and Paul are relatively cautious. By stage 2, Eugene is in 4th place, 10 seconds off the lead. He's happy with his pace, and the team are very much aiming to win this famous rally. But Kenny McKinstry, as expected, is proving to be the man to beat. The Manx National winner leads by just over 2 seconds after the first 2 tests, in what is a rare appearance for Kenny. Derek McGarrity has yet another new Subaru to learn on the narrow lanes. But he's learning fast, just 4 seconds off the lead in third place as the Subaru squeezes down the narrow Bolthoon test. There's no margin for error here.
250.
It's actually Eamon Boland who proves to be the main challenger to Kenny, just 2 seconds back, improving his speed. Young Andreas Mikkelsen is on a steep learning curve. The 17-year-old also owns a 2002 Focus WRC and an N12 Subaru. But he runs out of brakes here in his 2005 Focus. He lies 11th.
It's always fast.
The traditional blast around Castletown Harbour has brought the locals out in force, and news of the terrific battle for the lead is making this a Manx rally to watch. Kenny McKinstry has driven this test on many occasions, and he'll be third fastest on the first run and fourth quickest on the second. Eamon Boland is in spectacular form and keeping out of trouble. His main aim for day one. But fastest through the first run of Castletown is Derek McGarrity on a time of 1 minute 17.9 seconds. Derek gives us a view of this unique special stage.
60, right is the hairpin left on the monument.
A quick nip the handbrake round the monument, and then it's on towards the finish. With those deceptive tightening corners, the curbs lurking on the outside.
40, 3 left, don't cut. 100, all the way to the end, up, go on. Okay.
Derek sets the Castletown benchmark on the second run, 1 minute 17.1 seconds. But young Andreas Mikkelsen is charging back and is demonstrating his extraordinary skill. The youngster beats Derek's time by just 0.1 of a second.
That was really quick, quite divided. He's Eugene Donnelly on his second run. Number 1, Donnelly in the Corolla.
Number 1 on the door, number 4 on the timesheets. Eugene is nevertheless pretty happy. Melvin Evans is having a great run in 5th spot, 17 seconds behind Eugene. But Gareth Jones has had a horrendous start, losing over a minute on the first test with a puncture. He's back in 22nd. Nigel Hicklin also punctured in the first test after clipping a rock, and he retired. Whilst an exuberant Paddy White lay 33rd as the darkness closes in. Into the last Thursday test, and Eamon Boland drops back to 4th. The lack of spotlights not helping.
Sometimes there was a lot of the stage under the trees. I suppose we should have had him really, but for 80% of it was fine. But it's only when it was dark you kind of needed him, so that's a good excuse anyway.
At the TT Grandstand, all is well in the Corolla camp. Now third, just 10 seconds off the lead after a fastest time on the last 8-miler.
It's a long rally, and the main thing about it is we're enjoying it, and I am enjoying it. It's great crack.
Derek McGarrity's also enjoying it. Second now, just 1.1 seconds off the lead.
The pace is very, very good, but we pushed extra hard on those little stages because we know that Eugene doesn't like those, so it's important to get that little bit of a gap to Eugene. We've 10 seconds on Eugene, not really enough, but it's a start.
Well, he says you're very hard to catch whenever you're in front.
Well, he's right.
Leader Kenny McKinstry is analysing his progress.
What are you looking at?
I know, it's probably, it's all the things that car is supposed to be doing and what I'm supposed to be doing with it. Just to see how long I'm keeping my foot on the throttle and how long I'm staying off the brakes.
Well, you seem to be doing a lot of that because your times are pretty damn good.
Well, they're not too bad now, but if we sort of look at that there, it's sort of saying that I could be more on the throttle than I am.
Could do better if it said in your school report.
Could do better if it was a school report. It could do better.
With the top 4 separated by just 13.8 seconds, day 2 of the Rally Isle of Man is where the charging really begins. Meanwhile, the young charger Andreas Mikkelsen has fought back to 8th.
It's a fine line between pushing on and knowing when to back off.
Yeah, that's true. I'm learning so much now on every stage actually, so I'm very pleased.
The second day has 12 tough stages and 94 competitive miles, the longest day in the Irish Tarmac series. Kenny McKinstry sets off in the first Little London test, and yes, the state-of-the-art Subaru is squirming for grip on the slippery Manx tarmac. Kenny starts the day superbly, fastest on the opening stage, and on the next Keller stage, he tackles those famous jumps which have caught out Mark Higgins in the past. He commands an 8-second lead after the first loop of 3 tests.
Right into 1 left over crest 40, 1 left 60, crest 60 long to right maybe, continues 40, crest into 3 left maybe, 100, keep right into 1 left, into 1 right and left 40, 1 right maybe over bump 80, left over right over jump 100, 1 right over jump into 1 right 60, caution turn hairpin right at Beale. 150. Left 80, right 60, left and crest 50, left over crest into long left 100, long left continues into crest 30, 2 left maybe, and 2 left 60, crest and cut 3 right 100, left entry chicane.
Derek McGarrity has chosen a slick tyre, and he's not happy on the first 2 damp stages. He drops to 3rd, but is fastest in the last stage of the loop at White Strand. Now occupying the 2nd spot are Eugene Donnelly and Paul Kiely. Eugene's brother Charlie has been out on the stages reporting on the weather, and the information provided is leading to the correct Kumos being selected. Eugene plays at Kenny on the first London stage, but on the very next test, Keller, he takes 2 seconds off Kenny, gaining a further 7 seconds as conditions dry on the next White Strand stage. This puts Eugene within 8 seconds of Kenny as he tackles this notorious section of jumps named the Three Sisters, which have claimed Gwyndaf Evans in the past. Eamon Boland is another driver nervous on his slick tyres. Eamon is still 4th, but 26 seconds off the lead. Melvin Evans, who stalls here, is soon to retire from 5th with engine woes. Andreas Mikkelsen will go off the road further down the stage, dropping over 20 minutes. The young Norwegian continues as a testing exercise. Also testing for an outing on Rally Germany is Gareth Jones, who is now back into 6th place following his day 1 puncture.
Stage 9, Union Mills, and Kenny McKinstry is attacking. He's happy with his choice of Pirellis, but nevertheless, his lead is to be whittled down to just 6.6 seconds after this stage. The next one is the 13.8 mile Kringle stage, a Manx classic, but Kenny will lose his lead on this test.
Into 1 left, into 1 right and left 40, 1 right maybe over bump 80, left over right over jump 100.
The Donnelly team have made some revisions in recent months to the Toyota's dry setup, and despite this missed gear, it's working well. Here on Kringle, Eugene takes over 7 seconds off Kenny to move into the lead. It's a decisive move on a stage that Kenny knows well. Derek McGarrity is happier in the drier conditions, and he's 2nd fastest on both the Union Mills and Kringle tests. Indeed, so close is the competition that Derek is just 7.3 seconds off the lead in 3rd place. He has a little more distance now over Eamon Boland. Eamon now 23 seconds behind Derek, the Wexford man proving to be the entertainer of the rally. A little too entertaining here, though. Losing over 20 seconds with another spin up the stage, but he is secure in 4th, with Mark Higgins' Group N Subaru almost 2 minutes behind. Gareth Jones has hit brake trouble, and his times are up and down as he continues in 6th. Back at the TT Grandstand with less than half the day completed, car number 2 is back in position number 2 as the new leader reflects.
anything can happen. We're going to try our best. I like the one, and that's as simple as that. Derek wants the one, and obviously Kenny's been doing it a long time, and he wants the one, so it's a big battle.
Young Andreas Mikkelsen has been battling the island itself.
It's a big challenge today. Everything has happened that could have happened. After that, we have to calm down because we have to get the car to the finish and to the service to check that nothing is wrong. And we had some punctures that we have to change in the middle of the stages, and so many things has happened today, but I'll learn a lot.
Moving on towards the spectator test at Ramsey, and one temporary resident has to be temporarily removed thanks to some four-wheel drive intervention. On Eugene Donnelly's four-wheel drive Corolla, no compound seems to be right.
Left open, stone cut. Flat one right. We're on the wrong tyre.
But no tyre is perfect, and Eugene is fastest in stage 11 and 12 to open his lead to 10 seconds. He celebrates with some exuberance at Ramsey. Eugene entertains the crowds, but entertaining drops him 1.4 seconds. So close is the almighty contest. Kenny McKinstry is on the Druiddale section of Little London 2.
And one left, two
There's no margin for error on this very bumpy narrow section. Despite the scare, Kenny finishes just 0.8 seconds behind Eugene on this test. But on the very slippery 5-mile Rye Hill stage, Eugene takes 8 off everyone. Kenny nipping a second back around Ramsey.
Bits of it's slippy and bits greasy.
But you've taken time out of Eugene again?
Geez, I hope so, but I don't think it somehow.
Derek McGarrity is also very much in this three-way battle. He is just 11 seconds behind Kenny despite stalling at the start line in Ramsey. Eamon Boland is now in 4th and is now 50 seconds behind Derek. Those two spins earlier having dropped him at least 20 of those seconds. Gareth Jones' flapping bodywork is evidence of a puncture, which took 3 minutes to change, dropping him to 15th. John Cope is lying 22nd in the ex-Nesbitt Impreza. Paddy Pite is back in 28th after his car cut out in the Little London stage. But the ever-changing weather is turning wetter as the rally heads to the final 2 tests of the day, and it has quite an effect on the Isle of Man tarmac.
Eugene Donnelly always shines in the wet conditions, but the extremely shiny tarmac is causing everyone a few serious moments as he finds out on the Union Mills test. And on the next Kringle test, it's literally like ice.
Back off to the hairpin, up to the hairpin. It's totally on our own now.
Eugene is playing a big gamble, pushing on where the stage has grip. Kenny McKinstry tackles this 13-mile Kringle stage for the second time. It looks a lot different in parts with fog adding to the hazards. Despite Kenny's efforts, he's only second fastest. Derek McGarrity impressively was just a second off Eugene's time on the previous Union Mills test. But this spin on the icy hairpin on Kringle costs time and loses 20 seconds to Eugene to leave him 44 seconds behind.
200.
On the extremely narrow bumpy section towards the finish, the Donnelly team have been taking some chances.
3 left tightens. And 2 right, don't cut. Tight 3 left. 60. Jump into flat 2 left cut.
The effort is worth a valuable 9 seconds over the 13 miles on what is a critical stage.
I would say, half of the stage was drivable, 10/10 drivable, and that's just what we done. And we had great information from the gravel crew. Charlie had done a fantastic job again as usual, and I think only 4 at times I think we'd be off the road, but done a great job, and as I say, real good times.
We really need dry weather and about now 50 horsepower in that wee car.
But apart from that, you're grand.
Oh, I did, no. And a young fella to drive it, maybe.
Eamon Boland in 4th is dropping back from the leading bunch now, 1 minute 50 off the lead. but it's another solid drive from Eamon and co-driver Francis Reagan. With 7 stages still to play out over 68 stage miles, this rally is far from finished. And with the changing weather conditions and levels of grip, Eugene Donnelly will very much have to hang on if he's to take his first Manx victory.
With just 29 seconds in hand, Eugene has to push as he tackles the 12-man Slidu stage.
One left, 100.
An extended version of this test is used as the very last special stage, but this is not the last stage, and it's no time to back off. Kenny sees an opportunity here and slashes 15 seconds off Eugene. Derek is on wet tyres, but he drops 17 seconds to Kenny, and he's 54 seconds behind the leader. Eamon Boland is still 1 minute behind Derek, however, whilst Gareth Jones is second fastest here, but still back in 12th place. At least he's faring better than Group N Subaru of Colin Murphy.
Stage 22, 3 stages to go. It's still a big chance for Kenny as he tackles the infamous Three Sisters jumps at over 100 miles an hour, the second of which just past the lay-by is the starting point for a serious accident. Derek McGarrity and Dermot Falvey start the stage third, but it all goes horribly wrong. The Subaru crashes into the trees after the second jump. Co-driver Dermot escapes uninjured, but Derek sustains a very badly broken arm and shoulder and is freed from the wreckage by the recovery services. It could have been much worse, but for the strength of the car, we all wish Derek a very speedy recovery. On the penultimate stage, Kenny McKinstry fails to recover this slide. It costs him over 20 seconds and his chances of a win. John Cope retires with mechanical trouble, whilst Paddy White succumbs to a blown turbo. Gareth Jones eventually drags his way back into 7th on a rally he'd like to forget. But Eamon Boland scores yet another good finish in 4th. For Kenny McKinstry, it's unbelievable. Yet another second place on the Manx. That spin costing him any hope of winning. And he may have had a good chance as Eugene Donnelly is suffering a sticking throttle over the last 2 stages, causing him some serious moments. Eugene needs all of his concentration and some mechanical help from Kenny McKinstry to get the Corolla home safely.
Just 25 seconds, the second closest in the event's 43-year history, decided the result as Eugene clocks up his first Isle of Man win, putting him in a commanding championship position.
Now, for the first time on the Isle of Man, Kenny the bridesmaid again, but what an effort he made, and he says that he will be back. But the one that we were all thinking about at the finish was Derek McGarrity. Amazingly, Dermot Falvey stepped out of the wreckage without a scratch, and the fact that Derek escaped with only a badly broken arm and a shoulder injury is again testimony to the strength and the built-in safety of the modern rally car.